Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to part 5. Almost said 10 for some reason. So as you can see in the background here, I've created this repo, but unfortunately I only did this after part 4. So we're in a bit of a struggle here, but I've created, which isn't there, I haven't pushed yet. I've created a new branch. I'm going to do a branch for each part so you guys will be able to do that, and I'm going to sort some out in the next couple of videos for you guys to be able to access that. So yeah, that's all good. But in this video, we're basically going to be working on creating a follow system. So in one of the videos, I can't remember which one, sorry, we said how this should be like a feed from people who we follow, kind of, rather than our own posts. Does it make sense? So we're going to quickly implement profiles, and maybe we should have the time to do the backend for creating a follow, like following another user, but I'm not sure about the UI, so that might have to be separate. We'll see. But first of all, we're going to start by creating a new model. Am I going to call this... I think we're going to call it a friend, right? Because basically they're going to be your friend. But it's not going to be like your normal friend request system, you know? So I keep forgetting I can do it this way. So we're going to have a user ID and we're going to have friend ID. Whoops. We're gonna have, that's the foreign key for the user and that's the foreign key for the friend. So for now, this is all I can think of that we're gonna need. Let's define our relationships. Okay, so let's think of this from the friend perspective, like we're in this model. So we're gonna know that the friend is the friend ID, so I guess we'll call that this. I think that's right. And the user, you know, that belongs to the user. So why is this saying there's an error? That's why. So okay, that's our relationships, at least for the time being. We need to create a basic user profile. For now, I'm just gonna put a h1 tag there with the user's name. And we're just gonna access it via user IDs. I also haven't done this. Let me quickly do this. Oops. Auth. I like to put all my roots in a group with the middlewares on it, just to let you know, so I don't have to define it on each one. Am I gonna create a get root? Am I just gonna do, I don't know, user? We're not gonna do it for username right now because I don't feel like doing that. Let's make a controller called user controller. Okay. So now we need to define this on the user controller, and then we can quickly create the view. User profile. We haven't defined that user variable yet. We'll just quickly slap that in here. So like I say, we're just going to use the IDs. We're not going to bother doing username. If you want to do username, you just pass it through in the same way, you know. You guys can check the documentation for root model binding, but you just change that to username, for example, and then you'd remove the user and change this to username, and then it'll be the text, and then you just get the user by the username from the database. Quite simple, but I kind of like the IDs. So we got a profile. We need to create the view. Let's quickly do this. Just copy home. And let's just do card and then H1 here. Do this text center. Oops. Okay. Excuse me. So this is all we're gonna have for now. For example, this is where we could list all our posts. To be honest, what we will do is actually put that here, because that's all my own posts, and that's already configured. That's great. That's what we want. Should kind of be able to define a user ID for that, so let's just quickly implement that. Right, no prop here. We'd have to change the endpoint. Fuck, man, that sucks. Well, they're currently getting for the auth user, so that kind of sucks. For now, let's just not change it. Let's leave the prop there. We'll do that in another series that's going to add extra time on. That's not what this tutorial was aimed at. But for now, we can view our own posts in this page. And when we go back to the home, we need to change this feed here. But let's write our follow logic. So we've already got our endpoint. We've got the profile page. I needed to create this so we could actually add like a follow button somewhere, because at the moment we didn't have that anywhere. We'll just change this. We'll just hard code this for now. Okay, so let's quickly move on to doing this next part. I reckon all we do is maybe just add a follow function on here. Or just call it add friend. And that will work off the auth user. So then we'll just do this friends save new friend. Just add this on while I remember, so it doesn't throw an error. And we just need to define the friend ID. This ain't gonna work, guys. Okay, so let's just do... So we can pass a user through who's gonna be our friend. and we do it this way. And we just return that. But we're also gonna need to do a check. So if we got a friend with the friend ID of the user ID, then we just need to return null maybe. We already got him as a friend, so we'll just do that. And then we would need an endpoint to be able to do this, so let's quickly create that. Just copy this for now. So this is how we'll do this for now. Excuse me. The user ID is the user who we're going to be adding as a friend. So really we need to do auth user add friend user. And I should add them as a friend, and if friend doesn't equal, no, if friend equals null, we'll just return this because they're already a friend. Make sure errors. Otherwise, return response. We'll just return that for now. So I mean that should work right now, I think. We could perhaps test this just by, how far in are we? 12 minutes. So we've got like another 5 minutes. Let's create at least a view component to maybe send the API request so we can test it. No, fuck. What to create a folder. Oh, why did I call it friend toggle component? Okay. Excuse me. So we'll just put this in a div. We'll have a button here. Add friend. Excuse me. We'll create a saving state. Add the function add friend. I'm gonna need a user ID. And that's all we need there. Let's just and catch the error. I think that's good, dudes. So we're gonna go to app.js and quickly define the component. Friend toggle. We forgot to define the prop as well. So let's just quickly go do that. So now we can put this on the profile page. Let's just close some of this crap up. So this is gonna let us do it on ourselves right now. That's not a problem really. Hopefully it compiles. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's go to our profile then. We got no component here. What happened? Run toggle. Okay, it doesn't error. Okay, we didn't migrate. Throw the error? It does. So we need a way now to know that if we're already friended when we load up this page. I'm not exactly 100% sure how I want to do that right now. We could put that all in this component and do an API request to get the data. It's not bad. It's not that major of a problem, but it's not super efficient either. So you also could pass it in. I mean, there's not so much of an extra problem with creating one more database request, I guess. So if we're calling is friend on this model, that means we can check it on this profile right here. And that's gonna work against the auth user's ID. So we'll do return this friends. So this needs to be if I followed them though, doesn't it? Where user ID was auth ID. And where friend ID so basically if this isn't null then they're our friend. And we'll just pass this through here at the start. Okay, so basically what we're doing here, we're just passing through his friend. And that's either going to be true or false, and this will set the default state. Now the user friend toggle here. We'll add this here. That looks like it's spelled wrong. I think it's just because I've seen that many times. So then we'll set that, and then because we can't modify a prop once it's set, sadly, so we'll have to do it this way. If this doesn't equal undefined, this dot friend equal is friend. This dot is friend. Right. So basically what we're doing here, we're just basically defining another function for removing a friend real quick, and we can just clone the API endpoint just to delete it. User controller, clone this, call it remove friend. If it doesn't equal null, then we'll do friend delete. Wait, hold on. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. So basically, its friend will return the first. So if they're a friend, well, if they're not a friend, we'll return an error message, and if they are, we'll just delete that database request, and yeah, that should be good. So now we've got the remove friend. So see, we also need to update the state once we've done this. This dot friend equals true, and this dot friend equals false. So it's kind of bad to kind of hard code it like that, but it should be good. Okay, we got an error here. Apparently. His friend is empty. Interesting. I don't think flipping that's going to make any difference, but it just makes more sense. So there is... It's interesting. Where is this? It's because this parameter is empty. Suppose you actually kind of need to output those. Would that be right now then? Or is it outputting it as a string? No, it's actually outputting the right, my bad. Minor problem there. But this didn't switch. And it also didn't throw an error. But it does say you're a friend. Okay, sweet. That's working. So that's the follow/friend system, whatever you want to call it. The bare basics of it anyway. But now we can actually get our friends and get their feed, which will be kind of interesting. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that in the next episode. I will see you guys later. Sorry for the longer video once again. And I've noticed Sam's been posting my most recent videos. So if you guys feel like it, make sure to click the link down below and join the Discord. There's lots of people in there, you know, ways to get help with your code, lots to speak about. Good shit, dude. But I'll see you guys next video. Until then, farewell and have a good time.